It's a funny story, guys. I saw this little guy as I was digging. He was just barely sticking out of the dirt, and I was like, man, that's the handle right there. But no, once I got it up, it's just a little worm. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan and I'm with Skyline Acres. And today's project is I am going to attempt to locate our septic tank in our yard so we can go ahead and get this thing pumped. I've got a new tool that I'm going to be using, and this is called a soil probe, and this is the 48-inch version, and it's by a company called Bully Tools, and they're made in the US. They're made in Ohio, and they make all kind of stuff from shovels, rakes, all of that. I've been watching YouTube channels similar to mine, so hobby farming, homesteading, that kind of thing, for probably going on 10 years now. And I never see any of them talk about locating a septic tank. And the funny thing is, it's probably something that the majority of us all have in common. When we moved here 10 years ago, when you buy a house, I don't know if it's a law or not, but the septic was pumped at that time. And it was in this area here. And to give you guys kind of a visual, here's the area, and right up there's our house. I also have a drawing of when they built this house. The house was built in 1978. And in our paperwork for when we bought the house, there's all the information on, there's a map of the septic tank and the drain field and all that. And it says the septic tank is 16 feet off the house. Well, I can tell you this is a whole lot more than 16 feet. So everybody on the internet, guys, what I've seen them do with these soil probes is you come in and you basically want to find the side of the tank, okay? Then you're going to want to come down, and basically you're looking for the corner of the tank. And on my build sheet or whatever for my house, it says the tank is about 4 foot by 8 foot. So I would just come on over, and then I would find this other corner over here, and then I'd come about halfway over and then back a little bit, and right in there was where I would need to dig for my lid. All right, guys, so this first spot was a false alarm. If you can see, there's a rock down in there. So it's now a few days later. I'm actually glad I didn't find the tank a few days ago, because we've had some snow and different things. But I really need to find this thing. And I think I probably just should have maybe did the KISS method, keep it super simple. But I went back and I looked at an aerial photo of when we bought our house. We had this was back when you could, it was kind of right at the beginning of drones, and we had an airplane come through. It was a guy down at a craft show, and he was advertising that he does aerial photos with his airplane. So just a couple months after we bought the house, we had him come through and take aerial photos of our property. And the reason that was important was because the septic was pumped when the house was sold, and I could see the dirt spot. When you're looking at that photo, that bare spot you see is almost directly off of this garden bed, the end of this third bed. And then it's about 7 to 8 feet over is what I kind of figured. This stone wasn't here, and this little fence wasn't here, so that kind of throws you off a little bit. But so I got the poking around, and here's what I've kind of got. It's looking like the edge of the tank's about here, and the top edge of the tank is there. And right in here is where it looks to me to be where that dirt spot is. All right, guys, so I'll give you a visual of what the depth is that we're dealing with. Right there, about that being at my knees there. And I don't know if you can see the wet spot there, but from there to there. Alright guys, so I don't know how well you can see the bottom of the hole there, but if that's the tip of the thing here, looks like I still got maybe 8 inches to go. So I've definitely found something here. I mean, this is basically it. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be this deep. So I get you down in here. I don't know how well you can see the actual concrete color, but it is in there. Right there it is. Maybe I can scratch that. I don't know if you can see that, but definitely a concrete tank down there. The only problem is I don't know what direction to go at this point, as far as left, right, forward, all that. So, and it's getting dark. It's a funny story, guys. I saw this little guy as I was digging, and he was just barely sticking out of the dirt, and I was like, man, that's the handle right there. But no, once I got it up, it's just a little worm. So first off, I got a little helper here, and she just came up here, and I don't want her to fall in the hole. But anyways, let me show you what I got. So I've been working at this with a little handheld shovel, and anyways, I hope you can see, but I've found what I think's the lid seam. And the only issue is I don't know if this is the lid or if that's the lid. I think what I'm going to do now is get a piece of roofing metal or something and cover this hole up for the night. And just, it's getting dark now, so I think I'll just come back tomorrow evening and see if I can uncover it some more and kind of see what we got going on. All right guys, so I filled up that other wagon I had, so I had to get this out. But anyways, I worked at it a little bit more here, and I hope you can see it, but I figured out what direction the tank goes. And if you remember that seam, well, the seam was here, and then I just worked it over this way until I figured out which way it went, and it goes this way. I don't know if you can see that. So now I at least have a direction that I can dig, because actually that direction is kind of like down here and then over. I've already got more of that dug out than I do over this way. Well, I think we're onto something here. So right here, hope you can see it, is the handle. All right, here's an edge, and there's an edge. So I took the digging iron and cut this out a little bit more over here. I'm pretty certain I hit another handle. Yep, right there it is actually. Hope you guys can see that. So I got that cleaned out more. I'm pretty certain you can see both handles now. And I don't know how well it shows up, but there's the seam there. And it kind of runs back there. And then you can kind of see the seam right there. So I got a little bit more digging here to square that off. And a little bit more back here. But right there you go. Also, I got my helper here today again too. So here is basically the cleaned out hole. Everything looks good. And actually, I got the lid loose, and I wanted to show you what I did, because there wasn't any way, as deep down as it is, there wasn't any way to like get a digging iron in there and get leverage on the handles there. I took these two pieces of like 18-inch rebar, and I put it in there like that, and did that. And it finally popped loose. Wasn't really that bad. I wanted to give you guys an update on what happened. So yesterday evening when I left the video, it was getting dark, and I was kind of just wore out and tired from digging the hole and digging it fast because it was getting dark. And I reached down there to pick the lid up because I wanted to look into it. And that sucker is heavy and it's deep, and I was wore out. And I wasn't comfortable with picking the lid up and pulling it up out of there. I called some septic places this morning thinking it'd be a few days before they could get to me. And the guy said he could get to me today. So my septic has actually already been pumped. They came out today and did it. I can pop the lid open enough to see in there, and it's totally empty. We're getting something else done to it, which hang around for the rest of the video for that. But in order to do so, I got to make this hole a little bit bigger. So I'm going to give y'all a final update here. I got the hole enlarged. Hopefully it's enlarged enough, but there you go. All right, guys, so here it is. It's the next day, and I have an update for you. So while I was at work today, I had a crew out here, and they did me a little upgrade here. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So here it is. When I was talking to the septic company about my septic, getting it pumped, I told him, I said, you know, man, I said, is it normal for them to be 28 inches down? He said, he said, that is on the deeper end. He said, if it was me, while you have it exposed, I would go ahead and put a riser on it right now while you got it dug out. So anyways, that's what we did. The days of me digging this thing up, well, locating it, which can be the hard part, was definitely the hard part this time. Then digging it up, all that, trying to get grass to grow back on it, those days are over. All I got to do now, call the pumper truck in when I'm ready to do it, pop the lid on it, get it pumped out, and we're good to go. So anyways, guys, I just want to reiterate, this was not meant to be a how-to video or anything like that. I was just a guy that needed to find my septic tank and needed to get it pumped. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go out there and subscribe to our channel. YouTube tells me that like 98% of the people that watch my content aren't subscribed. So if you do like it, go out there and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. So y'all have a good one. See you next time.